Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of Nostalgia Bait. I'm your host for this week, Cooper Britton, and like a xenomorph, he's got a massive head. I am joined by George.
That's just unnecessary, wasn't it? But okay, hello, welcome to Nostalgia Bait, everyone.
Hello.
What are we talking about today?
Back, hello. We are, I mean, if it's not obvious by the intro, we're talking about Alien.
Yeah.
We're talking about the xenomorph, we're talking about Alien. Specifically Alien 1, or it's just called Alien,
It's called Alien,
Yeah.
So obviously
Alien
there's a
1.
brand new Alien film coming out this week,
Yeah.
Alien Romulus. It's one of the latest in the long line of Alien films.
Yeah.
Cooper, you've only just today seen Alien.
I literally, at the time of recording, I watched Alien about 3 hours ago.
Right. So this is relatively new ground.
This is raw.
And there's some stuff that you're probably not going to know, but I'll kind of brush over the rest of the franchise. We're definitely going to talk a little bit about some of the other films and stuff as well. But I'm really excited for this one because I love Alien. It's not, I don't know if it's one of my favourite films, but it's probably up there. It combines two of my favourite genres, like, you know, horror and sci-fi. Yeah, it's so good. And the iconography of it's fantastic as well. I think there's a lot of stuff I love about that film. So I'll be really excited for you to watch this film. I saw this on the list of podcast recordings that are coming up, and I was really excited to see what you'd think of this film if you actually got around to watching it. I'm delighted you have.
And I have.
So,
I have to. We're not doing an Alien episode where I have no clue what's going on.
Well, exactly.
I just have to watch one of them. I just have to watch the first one. And just to keep in, for people at home, I fucking hate horror movies.
Oh, he hates them. Yeah, you do hate horror films, and I understand.
I don't just have a thing against horror movies. I just don't deal well with suspense and horror.
That's understandable,
even shit that isn't supposed to be scary, I find so unnerving. And this is one of the things with Alien, and why I quite enjoyed Alien, because it felt like more of a sci-fi movie than a horror movie.
Thank you.
There wasn't.
Yes.
There's obviously a few moments in it that I was a bit like, ooh, but for the most part,
did you at all get jump scared?
Yes, the when the face hugger comes
That's
out of
the
edge.
classic. That's the classic.
Yeah.
That's the classic. Yeah.
But that's the only proper one that got me.
Not the one in the vents?
rest of it. No, the vent one didn't get
when
me.
When he
either,
turns around and he's like, ah! Yeah.
Nah.
No? Wow. Okay.
No, the face hugger one was the only one that really got me properly.
Yeah, class.
And there's obviously a few things I knew from it, but for the most part, kind of went in mostly blind, and I did enjoy it. I enjoyed it because it was a lot very heavily sci-fi instead of being horror, which I don't mind at all.
That's interesting.
I could imagine. I think it also the horror as well. I think maybe because you can tell it's a slightly older movie, and that's not in a bad way at all. And it's not. But
go on.
I think maybe I'd find the new. Well, I think horror's obviously it's just changed over.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
Like 50
no, that
years,
makes sense. That is true. Yeah, and it's an older film.
It was unnerving. It was more unnerving horror than jump scary horror. Whereas I think you get a lot more jump scary horror now.
That's true.
But I absolutely loved it. I loved the sci-fi part of it. I was literally googling the lore, the xenomorph lore.
This is the thing as well that I want to ask, because you're a fan of sci-fi as a genre.
Yeah.
You've got some familiarity. We've talked enough about Star Wars and stuff. In terms of when this film came out, it was a very heavily influential film in regards to the sci-fi genre. Shows like Red Dwarf, in terms of their set design, are directly inspired by stuff like Alien. Yeah. Because it's just that it's taking the whole spaceship ideal thing and making it gritty and real and industrial, and I think that's what Alien does so brilliantly. And this is the interesting thing. This came out in 1979, so this came out in between New Hope and Empire Strikes Back. Speaking in Star Wars terms, how do you think it fares up in terms of effects, special effects, in terms of direction, in terms of acting?
The set designs for it are absolutely phenomenal. They're absolutely I assume it wasn't mostly green screen. I assume it was.
It's all practical, pretty much.
All practical sets.
Anything that isn't practical is likely painted in.
Yeah.
I don't think they even had green screen technology then.
Nah, probably probably not actually. But even I think it almost has the Jaws sensor. You know how with Jaws, because the shark was practical, they basically kept it. And I guess the Jaws kind of not invented this, but this kind of came from Jaws, is that them being practical, they couldn't use the shark as much, so it causes that gives you more on edge. And I think Alien definitely replicates that because the xenomorph isn't actually in it very much that I noticed.
That's the genius thing about this film. And obviously
Yeah,
the problem watching it now for the first time is you're so hyper aware because of pop culture of what the
Yeah.
xenomorph looks like, what the whole deal with the film is. But this film, when it came out, I don't think showed the xenomorph in any sort of marketing material. So that's where it plays on. When you
Yeah.
see the scene, and we'll talk about all the different scenes and stuff when the chest burster comes out of John Hurt's chest.
I did not know that was the thing.
Yeah. So when that happens and it runs away, and then it sort of like shed its skin on the floor at some point like a snake, the whole point there is the audience isn't aware of what they're looking for, because that's what the crew aren't either, and the audience is placed in the same position as the crew, where you're like, I don't know what it looks like, and therefore then it starts to hide in plain sight. It blends in with the pipes and the wires of the industrial
Really
design
cool.
of the ship, and that's when it gets like to just really clever storytelling. But it feels intentional, and the stuff with all that is great. So with the story, the key thing that everyone talks about with this film is the scene where the chestburster comes out of John Hurt.
Yeah.
Did you see that coming? Did you know about that already? It's quite a famous scene.
I didn't know about it.
Okay.
I did not know about it. To be 100% honest, I actually had no idea. Not naively, but I didn't know that the face huggers are what cause the xenomorphs. That makes sense. I didn't realize that the face huggers basically implant the embryo and it grows and then that happens. I had not a clue that was the case. I just knew. I didn't even know about like what they called, the chest breakers. I only ever knew about the face huggers.
The chest bursters.
Chest bursters, sorry. I only ever knew about the xenomorphs and
and
the face huggers. Like they're obviously the most famous ones.
But the
chest
burster is the
xenomorph,
but
you know what I mean,
like as a baby, and I think that's
you know what I mean,
yeah. But it sort of catches you off guard. So the famous thing about that scene is, of course, none of the actors knew that was going to go down how it went down.
I did not know that.
I don't know the ins and outs because a lot of people share clear scenes from films and they go, "Oh, the actors didn't know what was happening." Yeah, okay, sure, but like obviously in terms of the story, something was going to happen to that character.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was initially described how it was going to happen, and the only person who was in the loop was John Hurt because of the effects. So when the blood squirts out and the chest burster comes out, the reactions are very genuine because it is a horrible.
I'd love to know
thing.
how they did that practically.
I don't know. I don't know 100%. I feel like it's probably hit a double where he's sort of like got his head and shoulders on the table and he's like under it, and then it's like a plastic body with someone else underneath.
But then the body's like pulsating though. Like it's
just good practical effects.
It's amazing.
It's great filmmaking, and that's
what I love. I love that about old movies. Like even like the Star Wars movies, like Jaws, Alien's a great example. I love like the use of all the practical stuff, like having to find instead of the solution just being CGI it. I love that you're having to find like practical ways to basically fix these problems and to have these scenes.
Of course, yeah.
Like it's such an amazing way.
It's a way of doing it, but that isn't like lazy. And I think that's what's being praised about the new one. Now, the new one at this point in time of recording hasn't come out yet, and there's not many reviews of it. But a lot of what it's saying is it goes back to its roots, and it is mostly practical. And I'm very excited about that specific. The previous film that was released in the Alien universe was Alien Covenant, and that was quite a while ago. And that was also directed by Ridley Scott, but there was a lot of CGI elements, and because of that, it doesn't quite work as well. Something is missing about that physical threat, that physical terror. With this film, it's not just the story. It's
a great story.
It's
a phenomenal story.
It's a masterclass in production design.
Oh yeah, it's a masterclass in like art department.
Oh yeah,
like it's the xenomorph costume. I assume it was a man in a costume.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
the xenomorph costume is unbelievable. Like it's phenomenal.
Yeah,
all the sets are absolutely stunning. The one when they go like down into the Covenant, not the
ship
in the alien ship, and it has like the massive body on like this table before they go further down where they find the facehuggers. I was like, oh my god, it was huge. That set.
Yeah.
It was massive. I couldn't
There's
believe
a lot
it.
of really great filmmaking techniques, and there's a lot of passion into the craft. And of course, directed by Ridley Scott as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if this was one of his first films. I presume it was, because a lot of his other work
might have been.
Because Gladiator was like early 2000s, right?
Maybe.
I swear to God, like he mustn't have been that old when he made this. Yeah, Gladiator was 2000.
Yeah.
Blade Runner was 82, so it was Alien then Blade Runner. I mean, Christ, bro had like some good run there.
What was the? I'd love for the budget for Alien.
The budget for Alien. Let's have a look.
It's a good question.
$11 million.
What do you reckon that is equivalent to now? Let's find out.
Let's find out. Hey, you ready for podcast analysis?
It's crazy,
everything in between.
You just can't like compare them, do you? Because it's like $11 million could be like $1 billion budget at this point. Like, it's just He has some very good movies, Ridley Scott. I'll say that much. He had some really good movies.
Oh, but this is doing pounds, but it'll be close enough. Basically,
it's just
11 million to 69 million.
Still, that's
not much.
Yeah,
it's not much. But then I think
Jesus Christ,
I would have thought the cast would have been a relatively small cast at the time.
Well, I mean, the cast was like what? There was only 6 cast members.
I mean, this made Sigourney Weaver's career, right?
Yeah.
This is her, rise into it, really. And then, of course, you've got actors like John Hurt, which had been in other things before.
John Hurt, yeah.
I mean, he's brilliant.
But even then, like, there's not a crazy amount of dialogue in it either. Like, there is, like, obviously quite dialogue-heavy scenes, but there's a lot of it, which I think, again, is the horror aspect of it.
This is why, though, I think something about this film, something about this world is so appealing to so many. It's not like they're just trying to shit out films for the sake of it. Like, there's something about the Alien films that genuinely excite me. Now, I would actually recommend, if you're going to watch the new one, I'd watch Aliens.
Oh, I just realised, so I actually don't have on me, it must be downstairs, I actually have an Alien anthology. My dad actually bought me, knowing we were doing an Alien podcast, he bought me the Blu-ray box set of Alien Anthology.
Oh, that's really nice.
I'll try and get a photo and put it in, but it's like it's sick. It's all the Alien films.
Oh, that's lovely.
On Blu-ray, like a proper collector's box. It's sick. I'll put a photo in.
I think I've got that somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not in my room, I don't think, but yeah, it's downstairs.
The OG
it's
one,
like the shiny...
the first 4. Yeah.
I'm not too sure.
I presume, because I don't know if they've released one since with the...
It might be the original one. It's got like the original. Yeah, it's Alien Anthology. Yeah, no, it's 6 disc set. That one.
Yeah, 4 films and then 2 discs
films,
of the actual...
Yeah, it's that one.
So I would recommend... I mean, obviously now you've got them, watch them. Aliens...
I actually would watch Aliens.
Aliens you should watch. And I think that you'd probably enjoy that one.
It's a follow-on, isn't it?
It's a direct... Well, that's the thing. All 4 of those films are direct follow-ons of each other. But they just get more and more ludicrous. It's like... when you get to Taken 3 and another member of Liam Neeson's family has been taken again, it's like, oh, come on. No one's that unlucky.
Yes, like Aliens there's
Aliens
one of the
Aliens is directed by James Cameron, who did Terminator, and it's an action film. It's really not a horror.
Yeah, I saw the like promotional photo for it, and it looks quite. Is there one of them where there's like a human alien cross?
That's like, the final one. I've never seen Alien Resurrection, but I've heard it's not very good. So it's Alien, then Aliens. Aliens is the sequel, which came out in '86. So quite a few years later.
That is
directed by James Cameron, who did obviously Terminator and a lot of other stuff. What else has James Cameron done? James Cameron. Avatar, Titanic, Terminator.
Titanic,
He did Aliens, one of his bigger films as well. But it's more of an action film, and it's a great film. It's as good as the first one, but it's a completely different genre and vibe. Then you've got Alien 3 or Alien Cubed, which is shit, but I enjoyed it. I mean, it's not great.
Is it action again?
Kind of, yeah. It's more lenient into that one. Directed by David Fincher, who did Fight Club.
So they're just all different directors for
all different directors. That's why there's not a very successful
Alien
franchise.
Fight Club. Let's
and then
go.
Alien Resurrection, who's directed by someone who I've never heard of.
Oh my god! So it's literally.
Oh no!
Who wrote the original?
Oh my god! The guy who did Amelie, which is actually a very good film. So he's a French director, and he just happened to do Alien Resurrection. Alien Resurrection is the bad one.
Why not?
People don't like that one, although it's got a better Rotten Tomatoes score than Alien 3. So maybe I'm the idiot. But basically, those are the original 4 films. Those follow the same continuity, and all 4 of those films have Sigourney Weaver playing Ellen Ripley in it.
Yeah,
all 4 of them. If you're going to watch them, I would say Alien and Aliens are the ones you sort of need to watch. Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection, only if you're really, really, really into it. And then, in 2012, about 15 years after the previous Alien film, we get, and I'm ignoring Alien versus Predator because I know nothing about it. That's just admitting defeat at that point for me. I'm not going to try and pretend to know.
I think I've seen Alien versus Predator at some point.
I may have seen some of it.
I think I've seen it in passing at some point.
Got no intention of watching it, to be honest. But Prometheus came out. Prometheus is directed by Ridley Scott.
Yeah.
Who directed Alien, the original. And Prometheus is... What is Prometheus?
I have no idea.
Prometheus is a prequel, technically, to
I
Alien.
remember, yes.
It is effectively... Oh, I'll tell you how I can compare it. Do you know when you see the alien ship?
Yeah.
Prometheus is effectively about a similar sort of thing, right? It's the same company... Weyland-Yutani, I think, or something like that, or something. I can't remember exactly what it's called. But the same people who have the ship, the Nostromo, and that have run that company, they send out a mission for, I think, like exploration and like life and stuff. Prometheus is one that I remember the least about, but effectively, you know, the big man in the chair.
Yeah,
that is the alien race they encounter. So there's connections through and through, but it's not direct. Like it is.
Yeah.
It's effectively they're like looking for, It's these are like an alien race which are connected somehow to the xenomorphs, but so Prometheus hasn't really technically got a xenomorph in it. It's very separate.
It reminds me of? This is such a niche reference. And I don't know if you're going to get it. Have you heard of a game called Subnautica?
I have heard of it. I've never played it.
Right. Subnautica has like a similar thing where it's about like aliens, like alien races, and it kind of reminds me of like almost like the connection between like this prequel Alien movie to the original Alien, because both two Subnautica games genuinely, and this is dead serious, have like these alien creatures that you learn about in the first game, and then you meet one in the second game, and it's like massive ties between them, and it's a sequel, but it's like this weird connection. It's a very loose connection.
Very loose connection, but I like what you're getting. Yeah,
that makes sense.
I like what you're getting at. I mean, yeah. So the interesting thing about Prometheus is obviously like Ridley Scott coming back. So I would recommend watching Prometheus and Alien Covenant, which comes after Prometheus. I'll talk about that in a minute. But Prometheus is very, very separate. It's not an alien film, and it knows what it is. It did okay. It didn't do amazingly, but it was okay. And then Alien Covenant came out. Alien Covenant is a direct sequel to Prometheus, but that is an alien film.
Yeah,
so
a horror movie.
So that yes and no. It's more cool than it is. The best thing about these two films is Michael Fassbender, who is playing the same character across both films, and he is phenomenally good at the character he plays, which I'm not going to say anything about, because it's worth watching and experiencing. I'm saddened that people didn't like Alien Covenant. Now, I haven't seen it in a few years, but people did not fuck with this film. They did not like it. It's on Disney+. Plus.
That's what I watched on today. They're all on Disney+. Plus.
That's fun. Alien Covenant was fun, but that was the last one that came out. That was 2017. I remember enjoying it at the time because there's a reference to Ozymandias in there, and that tickled my little post GCSE brain that I just had after studying that poem for 2 years. No, that's a serious thing.
That's such a niche reference.
It's not niche reference. Everyone knows Ozymandias.
English. I'd say it's a very niche English reference. Like English.
Everyone knows Ozymandias.
Yeah, if you're from the UK.
That's our audience, so innit? Ozymandias.
No, I'm not saying that. Sorry, I'm not saying that you saying that's a niche reference. I'm saying having a reference in this movie's quite a niche reference.
But I'll point out, I don't think Ridley Scott was referencing the AQA exam board, but more the poem itself, which is quite a famous poem.
Yeah, but I reckon it's more of a British reference. I know it's not intentional, but I can't imagine there's very many Americans who know of the poem Ozymandias.
Yeah, but the thing is, the way it's done in the film goes so fucking hard that I don't think the Americans cared. I think they were just like, all right, fair. But that's a brief rundown of the Alien films. I think.
So what's the newest one then?
So Alien Romulus is completely new. So Alien Covenant finished not on a cliffhanger, but setting up a third installment in that trilogy, which never got greenlit.
Yeah.
So that's fun. Alien Romulus is a completely new film, which is disconnected from the rest of it. It's not directed by Ridley Scott. It's directed by a horror director
Oh, so it's I think
Fede
we looked
Alvarez,
at this.
if I'm pronouncing that
Yeah.
correctly.
He's done some.
He did Don't Breathe.
Yeah, he's done some
Texas Chainsaw
nutty
Massacre.
horror movies.
Yeah. So he's done some good films, but apparently, yeah, Alien Romulus is the one with all the eyes on it, because it could be really good, it could be really shit. I'm really hoping it's good. Everything I've seen from it, I am excited about, because it's taking it back to the roots of the first Alien film, where it is a horror through and through, because there hasn't been a good horror Alien film in a while. Like, Prometheus and Covenant were probably the closest to it, but even they weren't horror. They were more like drama,
more
like about the world building and sci-fi drama. Exactly, yeah. Horror elements, like definitely Covenant, there was some fantastic body horror elements in there. But this one, even the trailer, there's like a bit where like they're pulling like a face hugger off someone, and it's like the thing's in his throat, and it's like coming out. That is disgusting, man.
Yeah, I saw an article today where it was like the chest burst scene from the first Alien film. Apparently, people were legit passing out in the cinemas watching it for the first time, which I can't blame them at all.
Yeah,
it's like mortifying.
It is difficult to watch, but it's great.
It
and
is
I think that's what I love about that. And again, even playing the game as well, Alien Isolation on Twitch at the minute, is so just like the thing that I love about these films is that aesthetic. That old-fashioned industrial sci-fi aesthetic with the old computers and stuff. And there's certain things in these films that scare me more than others. It's not the alien that scares me. It's that alarm in the final act. Bro, that sound effect freaks me the fuck out.
The music for this is phenomenal. It's one thing I clocked straight away. The use of like the TV static as well, like the radio static is so well done. It's so well used. It's freaky. The music's so good. Like the music just adds so much. Like when they're going down in the ship with the facehugger and stuff, it's so unnerving.
So, you enjoyed the film then?
Yeah. I genuinely, as much as I don't like horror, and I think I enjoyed it because it felt more sci-fi than horror. Obviously, it had horror elements, but I very much enjoyed the sci-fi side of it a lot.
The sci-fi aesthetic is brilliant, and it is.
I enjoyed the. I honestly, and I can say there's movies I don't enjoy. I don't like horror as a genre, but I can appreciate a good movie.
Yeah, yeah.
And like, it's the set of what stood out to me the most, and the practicality of it. Like the sets are just on another level. Like it's ridiculous, and I know it's going on about it, but
but they are good.
Nutty.
That for me is the selling point of the film, and I think it's so good. I just think the way they use lighting, the way the cinematography of the film is just gorgeous. Like everything about it, it is fab, and I just want them to get it right again, which is why I'm hoping Romulus will be a return to form, because they really need it. Because I think a good Alien film now would be like that would go down so well.
But I think it's also like what's in it, like to credit to that era of movies. Yeah, like Jaws, like Star Wars. It's like there's something so nice, and I know we do get practical movies now, but it doesn't have that same
Every practical film wants to do it like modern, future, but that aesthetic doesn't always work. And I think that's so charming about this is it doesn't try and be like, oh yeah, big fancy futuristic things. It'll all be projections and shit like this. It's all very analog. Spaceship,
even like the mother room, like it's literally just a circular room with just like a load of flickering lights, but it works
and like
so well,
like actual
with
buttons
one screen
and stuff. I just think that element of it makes it so much grittier and so much scarier. I love the industrial effect of it as well. It's not all smooth and bright. It's dark and dingy. It's dirty. It's got bumps and it's not a smooth surface. So anything could be hiding around anything. And that's why, again, playing the video game has been interesting because I love that. I don't know why my Xbox just decided to...
I was going to say...
What the fuck was that?
The Xbox achievement noise.
I honestly didn't even realise it was on, and I was like, achievement unlocked. No, it's just telling me that's going to power down in a minute, which it should have just done that, but quieter. Playing that was so... I mean, I've played it before years ago, but playing it again recently on Twitch has been just, like, great. Like I've really enjoyed it because it's got the aesthetic of the first. I know
horror
you would hate it because it is actively really scary. But
is it like Final Fantasy Freddy's 3 or Final Fantasy Freddy's 4? Oh my god!
Are you asking me if
No, I'm just
Alien
saying,
Isolation is a bit like Five Nights at Freddy's 3?
No. I'm saying if you watching me playing Final Fantasy Freddy's 4 tells you anything about how I feel about horror games,
yeah, you're fucked. You can't
exactly.
Alien Isolation is effectively the first Alien film, but in a massive space station instead of like a small ship.
In a small ship.
And the alien is just
Massive and chasing you.
Yeah, but it's all based on small movements, and you've got to be so careful.
Is it sound responsive as well?
You can put a setting on, but I don't have an Xbox Connect.
Oh yeah.
Who the fuck does?
That's the thing. The thing with horror movies for me is I really struggle with the suspense. That's what gets me, and that's not even just down to horror movies. That's down to just anything, like suspense when I don't know.
That's the why. That's how you get the best horror films. I hate horror films that jump scare you with cheap jumps. Right?
Yeah.
There's a film.
And I'm not saying I don't enjoy jump scares either, but like it's the suspense for me. It like, and I know that's the whole.
But do you not think that's?
Do you not the feeling?
But do you not think that's so?
But I think it's great. It's great, and I'm saying I can appreciate that. Like a movie that can make me feel like that is great. But I know people who love horror movies, like you revel in that feeling.
I don't like horror films in that way. I don't like feeling scared. But you know the feeling of something that you're watching on a screen, in a cinema or at home where you feel safe, can elicit such strong, vivid emotions out of you. And can achieve that, I think, is such a powerful thing.
And that's what I'm saying. And I think love it's great. Like, I can appreciate, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I appreciate horror as a genre. Like, I can appreciate that it does that. Yeah. It's phenomenal that a good horror movie can do that. I just personally, like, I hate that feeling to a point where it generally puts me off watching this kind of stuff because I would rather put myself I don't want to put myself through that feeling.
Do you not sort of watch these films like Alien, right, and sort of feel like, when you've seen that, you're sort of like, oh, I could definitely watch more of this.
I genuinely, but Alien's like, well, that's what I'm saying. I enjoyed, for me, Alien had the suspenseful moments, but I think it's, I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it's because it's slightly older or whatever, but it doesn't have like, the worst one I've ever had is, and it's so stupid, was Walking Dead. Oh. Genuinely, there's some seasons of Walking Dead, like when they're in the prison. Honestly, when I used to watch it with my dad, I used to like.
Right, yeah, but how young were you when you watched that?
I can rewatch this and it makes me feel the same way.
Yeah,
like,
but because of younger, when you've watched it.
Yeah, it's probably because of being. I probably wasn't. It's probably also the fact I wasn't the right age to be watching that.
This is the thing. Is like people say Tim Curry's like Pennywise
trauma.
It from the 90s is like the scariest thing they've ever seen, right? And then I watched it for the first time in first year of uni when I was like 18, 19, and I'm like, this is so fucking stupid. This is like, it's funny. It's like a comedy. Mm-hmm. And it's just difference in context. It's difference in time when you watched it. But that's because most people snuck into sort of watching it when they were really young and shit themselves scary. But I would say The Shining.
I knew that's what was coming.
But it's a bit like that because that film is genius in the sense of, that's what I love about horror films, is when a horror film, cheap jumps, right? I've seen a film called Pet Sematary, like the new remade Pet Sematary, and it's just cheap jump scares after cheap jump scares. Mm-hmm. It's like slow, quiet, and then suddenly a massive truck comes past on the main road and makes it's like, it's just like cheap. You're not building up to anything. And I think the feeling of suspense in a horror film, like The Shining, like Alien, like anything of that genre. Okay, I don't like the feeling. Mm-hmm. But fuck, it makes you feel alive. You know what I mean? Like, you're watching it and you're like, it's so real and fucking tangible. It's there. Like, you can feel that suspense coursing through your veins when you watch it. That's what I like about horror.
Shit in my veins.
Yeah, exactly, man. Like, that's it. That's what I like about horror. It's like, yeah, okay, I don't like being scared. Sure. But I like the experience of sort of like, God, that was a rivet. There's like an adrenaline factor to it.
I can appreciate I don't like it. I'd rather do something completely else to get my adrenaline rush than watch. It's just one of those things, isn't it? It's like but again, I'm not trying to like shit on horror as a genre. I'm not trying to shit on stuff like Alien. We definitely will watch The Shining.
We'll do a commentary track for The Shining.
Yeah,
and put it on the
like I'm not trying to shit on it as a genre. Like, I appreciate there's some fucking phenomenal horror movies. I just can't. And I do like. I'd love to enjoy horror.
It's a genre of filmmaking, right? And that's it. It's like you just appreciate different things, and horror. It just isn't for you.
fucking chance I would be able to watch Alien in the cinema. Like, there's
Really?
Oh, nah. I think if I'm going to start watching horror movies, I've got to start at home. Like, because there's just something
gotta be
I
done.
couldn't, honestly, I couldn't do it watching it in cinemas. Like, it would just absolutely it just send me over the edge.
You got
like,
to
at least I'm at home.
You've got to
and
embrace it a little bit. Like when I went to see Long Legs recently, which is a horror film, which was released. I went to go and see that in cinema.
Is that about spiders?
No.
Oh,
It's
okay.
got fuck all
Long
to do with
legs.
spiders. So Cooper's got a phobia of spiders,
Oh,
by the way.
No,
everyone.
let me preference. I have like, honestly, like, it's not even just a phobia. It's like astronomical. It's on another level.
It is ridiculous. I don't
think
like
it's-
spiders, right? But this is something else.
Yeah, mine is really, really bad. It's terrible. I genuinely wish I didn't, and I've tried
Any
to
bad
get over the
stories
fears.
of your spider phobia?
Well, I live in quite an old house, so like September, October time, it basically becomes arachnid month, and they all move inside. And my God, I have a spider story. It's not my spider story.
Okay.
It's one of my friends from school, which probably wasn't. I'm not the best person to tell because it defo heightened my fear. He was like staying up late one night, and I've had the same thing. He saw a spider running on his wall, and basically tried to get rid of it, and it ran down by his bed. And he said he tried to get rid of it, tried to find it, couldn't find it, eventually gave up and went to sleep, and woke up in the middle of the night with like feeling something on his face, and it like
How can you even tell that story of the spider
it
phobia?
fucking makes me want to die. But there's a movie called Arachnophobia, which
I've never seen that.
when I think it's called, is it Arachnophobia?
Arachnophobia.
There's that one, and I think there's eight. Should not have googled arachnophobia. I should not have just googled arachnophobia.
Nah, I couldn't watch that.
Oh God. But I think there's another one called Eight-Legged Freaks where my dad had the DVD when I was younger, and genuinely it's like trauma. There's a photo on the back of the box of a guy sitting in a chair, like just an armchair, and there's 8 spider legs around him, and honestly, it makes my skin.
From arachnophobia.
I think it's either arachnophobia or it's called Eight-Legged Freaks. I think it's one of the two. I can't remember which one it is. But honestly, like just talking about it, like it makes my skin. I don't feel like the skin on my back crawling. I hate it.
Oh yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah.
Was it Eight-Legged Freaks or arachnophobia?
Eight-legged freaks.
Eight-Legged Freaks. Yeah. So my dad had the box of the actual DVD box of that.
Oh,
and
that's so goofy though. That's so like CGI.
Yeah,
goofy.
but still, like as a kid who was scared of spiders, like
Yeah, but
the
if
thought.
as a kid who was scared of spiders, why did your dad have so many spider-related films on DVD?
It was only Eight-Legged Freaks that he had. He didn't have arachnophobia. Arachnophobia is the one that like my dad always takes the mick out of me saying, "Oh, you should watch Arachnophobia." No, not a chance on God's
Have you ever
green
seen The Fly?
No.
See, that would be a one I'd want to watch with you.
Is it spiders?
No, it's a fly.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it was like I don't know.
I do right. And please promise me now you will never Google it until after
No,
you've
I
watched
won't.
it, because it is an unbelievable like reaction film. It's so
Horror.
good. Technically yes, more
Okay.
body horror than it is scary
Yeah.
horror.
Mate, you know the other one, Doctor Who episode, Arachnids in the UK. I really
Oh
struggled
yeah,
to watch that episode.
yeah. I'm not
Really
surprised though, because that is
There's
literally giant
loads that I
spiders.
have recently. Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 3 has spiders in it, obviously, it's fantasy, right?
Oh, I can't keep getting away with it.
This is the third time I've mentioned Baldur's
That's
Gate.
too many.
3. How many? There's definitely things you've mentioned more. You've definitely.
Oh yeah, but nothing you detest as much as I detest Baldur's Gate.
Why do you just have? And do you know what? Anyway, I'm gonna keep talking. So obviously, fantasy spiders in it, completely fine. Like I genuinely was absolutely fine.
You know what? I'm gonna keep talking now.
I'm gonna keep going. Honestly, spiders in the game, completely fine. Didn't affect me at all.
Oh.
And then I decided to push my luck, and I decided to use a spell called Speak with Animals and try and speak to one of the spiders. And I've never alt F4'd a game so quick in my entire life.
Why?
It freaked me the fuck out because it was like this close to the front of it. You could just see horrible.
Do you know what really upset me? When I played Mario Galaxy and you had to climb over that giant bee and it was like really furry. That really just irked me as well.
Yeah, there's like this. But
It's weird the tangents we go on, isn't it, in some of these
Skyrim
episodes,
has-
isn't it?
first level of Skyrim has spiders in it. It freaks me out. So many games now have arachnophobia settings, like because of how bad it gets.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
But I'm not. But
I really
let's
am
reference-
going to start sounding like
But
some arseholes in this country want to just go, oh, we're getting two. The wokes have took over the video game industry.
I'm bad with spiders, but I'm not bad to a point where if I see the smallest spider, I'm gonna go like running out of my house screaming. Like I'm fine with like small ones. The thing that freaks me out the most is when they move. The movement really freaks me out. That's what gets me. Like, 'cause it makes like it makes like my skin crawl on my back, and it feels like. But yeah, and then big spiders just freak me out in general. Tarantulas, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Scorpion spiders can just.
Don't like the idea of a tarantula crawling along your face.
No, it's my worst nightmare.
Like that.
I did try and face my fear when I was younger, and we visited my nana's, and there was a giant spider in the bath. And my dad was like, "Oh, I'll buy you Call of Duty DLC if you pick it up." And I did, and I threw it out the window and got the Call of Duty DLC, but it did absolutely nothing for my arachnophobia. This is such a weird tangent.
It's such all I will say is never watch Red Dwarf season 5, episode 5.
Yeah, Fez. I'm not even gonna. Yeah, I'll just.
Someone gets force fed a tarantula.
Nah, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm a celebrity.
Oh, but it's not alive in that though, is it?
Sometimes they are, I think.
You don't eat an alive tarantula.
No, don't eat it, but like when they hold it in the mouth.
Oh yeah. Well, they did that in Red Dwarf, but then they sort of imply that it's been eaten.
Nah, absolutely not. Not on my watch.
Anyway,
do you not have any fears?
Heights. And,
really?
Murderers usually.
Yeah, that's right. Death.
Death. I mean, I guess everyone's a bit scared of death.
Yeah. We're not going down this tangent. I will have a crisis on camera. I hate...
Well, you hate thinking about death?
Yeah, just like...
Well, let's not talk about death.
21. Yeah. Heights, I don't get heights. Like, I get like the you feel like the kick.
I can't help
it. Rush.
See, I don't mind that adrenaline side of things. It's my body does not agree, and my legs start to go to jelly, and I can't move.
Yeah.
And at my head, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm also quite bad with flying as well, but I'm getting better with that. Yeah, a year at a time, I'm getting better with that. I
get a little bit more
where I got really bad with it.
Claustrophobic.
Oh, no. Well, yeah, man. Jesus Christ, look at me, man. I'm a fucking 6'4", and I'm built like the Nutty Professor. I'd rather like, that's probably an exaggeration, but I am not good with small spaces. Yeah.
I hate the TikTok videos of people going like in the really small caves and stuff.
Nah. I'm one of those people who has like nightmares where you like your seatbelt gets stuck and it doesn't go any further out.
Really?
Yeah, I proper like claustrophobic dreams. It's weird.
Nah, spiders is my main one.
Spiders.
Yeah, obviously you get like the adrenaline.
I think heights probably mine. But... I don't know beyond that. Yeah. I mean, I guess I have anxiety, so I guess I'm just like scared of everything every day of the week. So that's
kind of based, to be honest.
Yeah. That's why I like horror movies. Maybe that's an escape from the horrors of my
Maybe.
everyday life.
yeah, that's fair. It's
But you like the Alien film, though, didn't you?
Yeah. Honestly, like dead serious. I don't like horror movies, but I actually really enjoyed Alien. I could honestly see myself going on an Alien like as I did go to Xenomorph rabbit hole. I don't know why I'm pretending I didn't. I googled like every type of xenomorph and like because they kept talking about the Queen. I was like, have you ever seen the Queen?
Don't
what does
talk
it look
about
like?
The Queen, man. Don't. That's something you gotta wait for.
I was like, but I wanted to know, like, do they ever show it? Is it just like?
They do.
I also thought it was really
Aliens. The next film you watch,
Does
Aliens. Is
I thought
more about
the mother, the thing them calling like the mother, that really freaked me out for some reason.
The twist of him, that guy being an android as well.
That was cool. I did not know about that. It was very cool.
There's like that sort of hidden bias of the company being like, it's like they're actually the crew is expendable and it's actually about securing alien life.
It's also quite cool with you saying they do like a prequel that it kind of almost shows how they already know about the xenomorph, if that makes sense, because the guys like, they wanted it for like a military weapon and shit like that. And then you're saying the prequel with the same company. It's quite a clever like future tie-in.
They come across stuff, but yeah, it's sort of implied. There's never like concrete answers, as I say, because that trilogy never got finished. But I would say, if I were you, I'd avoid Alien 3 and Resurrection. I'd watch Aliens, and then if you like that, Prometheus and Alien Covenant. They're good. I mean, you don't have to watch them. You could, but I think if Romulus is good, I'll tell you to watch that as well. But Yeah, I'm excited for it. I think it'll be a good
Is
film.
it still practical in the newer ones, or do they use CGI for the xenomorphs and stuff?
In
No.
Covenant, it's CGI, which is why I think
Yeah.
it was received quite badly, because they
Yeah.
do a lot of it in like daylight and outside, and it's like big
Is it like-
action sequences, as opposed to smaller
The more
scale
hidden side
stuff.
of it,
The
yeah.
xenomorph stuff in Covenant is CGI and not as good, but
Yeah.
the other aliens species that are in Covenant, in like the body horror aspects of that, without saying much, there's basically like alterations. You've probably seen it when you've googled it, but there's alterations of a xenomorph, like different styles and types of
Yeah.
alien that work in a similar way.
Yeah.
That are the main kind of thing in Covenant, and then the xenomorph is towards the end of the film. But
Also, the design for the xenomorph is so good.
oh, it's unbelievable.
I'd love
As
to
is
know
the
who
face
designed
on
that. It's such a yeah. All of them are. They're such a good,
just such a- yeah.
amazing.
I
And the
don't know,
poster for Alien, just the egg with the green. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
it's so good. It's just a masterclass, isn't it? Like,
Oh, it's fantastic. I love just the thing. It's a masterclass in storytelling. It's a masterclass
Yeah,
in,
100%.
in production design, in cinematography, in horror directing. It's absolutely incredible.
because I had no idea of like the story even going into it. So I like in my mind, I assumed the whole movie was going to be about them trying to escape the alien planet.
No.
So when they were actually in the rocket
Ah.
and then escaped, I was like, this is such an amazing. Like, it was such a good idea.
yeah,
like,
because
to
it's
have,
like
like-
about it's stuck on the ship with them, and they need to.
Yeah.
Oh, the twist when Ripley gets away and the xenomorph's still there.
It's
on the
hiding
escape
in the
pod
core.
is so
It's-
clever. It's
What
such
you're
a
saying before about how it's so well designed that it blends in.
it
It's
hides in plain
so
sight,
clever.
and then you're sort of
yeah.
like you're watching a scene, and that to me is the peak of horror, right? There's other things that do it as well, where it's like there's nothing scarier for me in a film that when you've got a normal shot that is like the
Yeah.
everyday shot, and then you see something that's in the background that you didn't look twice
It's
at
like that.
move,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh fuck, there's something there. That is really
so
clever.
well
And
done,
Alien
yeah.
does that brilliantly because it does it in a
Yeah.
sci-fi context. But there are other films as well where you see it
Yeah.
and it's a dark scene, and your eyes adjust a little bit, and you start to see, and you're like, oh my god, there's a person there.
Even like the first time they showed the full size xenomorph, and it like you see like the tail whip in the background.
Oh
when
man,
when he's trying to get the cat.
So good,
So
good. And
good.
like it's like dripping from the ceiling.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
so good.
Yeah, it's great. It's a really
It is.
great.
And like genuinely, it's a very, very, very good movie.
Yeah, that's good shit.
I'm
I
quite
think-
glad.
I
you forced
think.
me to watch it.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Not forced me to watch it, but
Forced you to watch it.
I'm quite
It
glad.
makes me want. I think definitely at some point I'd love to do like a commentary track on here, and if we do, it'd have to be something that a film. I don't know if it would have to be a horror, but I think it would be good if it was, because I feel like
yeah.
you would probably do better with a horror if we're telling dumb jokes through it,
Probably,
and
yeah.
also you shit yourself, and that'd be funny to have on camera. But talking of shit, chances are this Just News story probably
Actually,
gonna...
my Just News story is quite not on topic, but it's like it's kind of movie related.
Ooh.
So, yeah. Welcome to Just News. This is our only dedicated segment of the
Our only
podcast.
dedicated segment here on Nostalgia Break where we
And
talk about
where-
funny news stories.
Yeah, and I find a funny, haha, potentially shit news story, and
Oh,
we'll
don't
tell
say that, man.
George all about. It's not. It's a good news story.
It'll be great, don't you worry.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
From the Mirror, other news sources are available.
Are available, yeah.
I've just spat all over my monitor. That is rank.
Enjoy that, YouTube audience.
Couple transform their garden into £27,000 Jurassic Park, complete with a 10-foot T-Rex.
What? I mean, like, pop the fuck off.
Yeah,
Let me see this.
27 grand.
Oh, it's shit. It's absolute shit. I was really hoping when I clicked on the article it was going to be, like, unbelievably good. And it looks like fucking shit. That looks terrible. That's like a come
Ready?
down with me fucking
That,
garden.
oh my god, 100% it's a come down with me garden.
Oh,
Mark,
God.
who fondly calls his lawn Jurassic Mark,
Jurassic
admits
Park is
his
so
one-of-a-kind
ridiculous, bro.
garden has cost him a whopping £27,000
£27,000.
but says he works hard to fulfill his expensive hobby. I'm not joking you, right? There is a golf course, I'm sure, in South Shields that has the exact same plastic dinosaur statues. I'm dead certain.
There is a dinosaur mini golf in South Shields, but I
Yes.
don't know if it has them because I've not been to South Shields in a few years.
A dinosaur superfan managed to convince his horrified wife to spend £27,000 transforming their garden into a real-life Jurassic Park. Complete with it. This is 6-foot pterodactyl. The title of the article says 10 foot. I've been scammed.
T-Rex. Hang on. 10-foot T-Rex, and then it says 6-foot T-Rex. They're just
flying.
10-foot long T-Rex. It covers in a bit.
Oh.
You'll get there. We'll get there.
Mark Kitchen. Should have converted his kitchen.
No. Mark Kitchen.
First began his dinosaur collection 5 years ago after spotting a life-size velociraptor in his local garden centre.
Fuck me. To be fair, that is a very... I can relate with that.
That's a cool garden centre.
You pop into Dobby's garden centre and you see a fucking dinosaur,
you know
I
what?
would probably be tempted to buy it. I'm not gonna lie.
I probably would as well, to be quite honest.
I went to a garden centre in the Lake District recently with my parents, and they had, and I shit you not, a fucking castle. Like bigger than you'd expect. Obviously not a fucking life-size castle, but bigger than you'd expect. Like it was actually like it was built out of brick. It was looked like a historic monument.
Oh my god!
And you could buy it for a good amount of money, but it was
very cool.
There was a temptation to walk in and go, "Oh, I want that."
I'll take one of your finest castles, Dobby's Garden Centre. Walking in a crown and a full coat.
I'll have 2 goldfish and one of the castles, please.
I'll have 2 of your goldfish to go in my moat. And one of your finest castles.
Oh, not moat. Not again. Rest in peace, moat.
The 51-year-old is always dreamed of having tropical plants in his backyard and thought a model dinosaur would be the perfect addition to his greenery. Mark, who lives in Preston, Lancashire, admits he's a Jurassic Park superfan and always aspired to be a paleontologist in his younger years. Garden centre assistant Mark forked out
Whoa. He works in a garden centre.
So he got discount
works,
then?
Fucking bastard. Well, no wonder he's got
bastard.
it, man.
It's worth 27 grand, but he only paid 10 for it.
The thing is, I can criticise this, but realistically, if I had money,
and
I probably would spend like 3 grand on a screen accurate Dalek. Let's be fair. Let's be just outright. I would probably do that.
That's kind of based. Yeah. Probably. Yeah. Garden centre assistant Mark forked out £1,000 on his first Raptor. Much to the reluctance of his wife, I would pay to have been a fly on the wall when he brought that home. I would pay.
Which one did he buy first? The Velociraptor.
The Velociraptor.
Is there a photo? Oh, there is a photo of it.
Oh,
that looks fucking ridiculous.
He's got 2 of them in the top photo though, so he's bought another one.
God.
So
embarrassing.
Helen, 50, who originally said no, you're not, at the prospect of him buying it. Now he has 7 dinosaurs roaming around his back garden, including a 10-foot long T-Rex. Mark, who fondly calls his lawn Jurassic Mark, admits his one-of-a-kind garden cost him a whopping £27,000, but says he's worked hard to fulfill his expensive hobby.
Yeah, I mean, look. If you've made your money, you've earned it.
Oh my god, there's a selfie
you can do what
with
you
the
want.
T-Rex.
Oh no, I just seen that. Right, let's get to the selfie in a minute.
Mark said the garden was a blank canvas and I've always wanted to have tropical plants, so I started with 2 palm trees in the corner and it just developed from there. I went to the garden centre and they had a Velociraptor and I said to my wife, I'm going to buy that. It looks amazing.
You know what? This is actually more wholesome than I think. We could take the piss, but this man is a legend. He's earned his money. He wants to get his tropical plants. I just draw the line at the amount of dinosaurs he's got.
7.
Cool. Yeah,
I wonder what dinosaurs he's got. A T-Rex. This is 7 different dinosaurs.
Well, he's got it was a Stegosaurus in the picture.
A Diplodocus, 2 Velociraptors.
Okay, Mr. fucking dinosaurs.
No, it's a Diplodocus. No.
Diplodocus, what's that?
It's a Diplodocus, but there's an Ali meme from when he saw it in Fortnite where he calls it a Diplodonculus. Unbelievable, George. You play Fortnite on stream, you should know Fortnite memes.
I played it twice!
You played it more than twice. That is cap. That is bullshit. That is absolute bullshit.
I've played it less than 10 times.
That's still definitely more than me.
Is it?
100%. I've
You've
barely
played
played it. No. I did not.
You would like it. It's the kind of shit that you usually play.
What, Destiny? I didn't play Fortnite because I was playing fucking Destiny 2 when Fortnite.
Take me
during
not be
Fortnite
playing
era.
Destiny
What?
3.
Don't even fucking get, please. I will go on a fucking rant in the middle of this podcast episode.
I want look. As much as I really desperately want to hear about the third installment of a game I've never had any interest in, I want to hear about the dinosaurs.
We're not going on this fucking tangent because honestly, this pissed me off this week. Anyway, Bugs of the God chooses the God developed from there. And she said, "No, you're not." It just went from there. She eventually came around and loves it now. I'm a big Jurassic Park and dinosaur fan. I'm a massive fan of the films too. Wait, so he's just a fan of the concept of Jurassic Park?
Big Jurassic Park fan and dinosaur fan and a massive fan of the films.
So he's just a massive fan of the concept of a Jurassic Park.
Or he's got dementia that just kind of like flipped
Yeah,
out on mid-sentence and he's like, I'm a big Jurassic Park fan, big fan of dinosaurs. I'm also a big fan of Jurassic Park, the films... He
likes the ride at Universal Studios.
The ride at Universal Studios. And I'm also a fan of dinosaurs.
Do you reckon he went on the ride at Universal Studios first and then found out it was a movie franchise?
There's been people like that. There's definitely
100%.
people like that. Yeah.
I'm a massive fan of the films too. I always wanted to be a paleontologist but never got to it. I just wanted to create a Jurassic prehistoric garden. Oh my god, there's so much. Mark said his dinosaurs have got
the selfie of... Sorry, can we just at least talk about the selfie with them and the T-Rex? We can't skip past that. They look like a couple off Gogglebox.
They actually do as well.
And I kind of wish they were on Gogglebox.
Yeah, that
because I would like to see
in
T-Rex.
from the garden with like a TV at the background with two like deck chairs with all dinosaurs in the background.
Meanwhile, in Jurassic Park...
yes. Yes, that's such a good idea.
Yeah.
And Mark said... his dinosaurs have grown in size over the years and received nothing but praise from guests brave enough to visit Mark. Mark said, after buying one, it just went from there. We have 7, including T-Rex, 2 Velociraptors,
Galapagos, yeah, that sounds right.
and a pterodactyl like one hanging from... I have no idea what a Galapagos is.
A Galapagos.
I was a dinosaur
I presume that's the Stegosaurus looking one, isn't it? Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay. So it's not a Stegosaurus.
It's not, yeah. Rip. It's not a Donkosaurus as well, whatever you say.
A pterodactyl like one hanging from the tree. The tropical plants are all real.
Class.
Yeah.
How do you reckon tropical plants fare up in Preston?
If it's anything like Lancaster, it's not... They're well watered, I'll tell you that much. They're very well watered.
Fair enough, yeah, good. That's good.
I look after the tropical plants. The garden wouldn't work without the tropical plant. No shit, then it's just grass.
Bro said tropical plants 3 times in a short sentence.
The Jurassic Garden.
Who let him cook?
It just
Stop talking, bro.
It looks more lifelike now. People love it. Everybody that comes thinks it's crazy, but it just works. The wife is pretty flexible and loves it now. Everyone.
The wife.
The wife.
Put some respect on her name, man. She puts up with you every day.
Everybody has nothing but praise for it.
Shall I tell you what I hate the most?
What?
You see this picture? You're going to have to put a lot of pictures on this, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But the picture, the one underneath this with the Velociraptor.
With the Velociraptor.
You know what pisses me off the most about this? The fucking horrible cushion they've got.
Oh, the like desert island one.
Fucking horrible live, laugh, love desert island cushion they've got. Who the fuck said that? I would take all the tropical plants and dinosaurs over that fucking horrendous cushion.
Final comment.
Horrible.
I'd definitely like to expand my collection more. I've been looking into the animatronic dinosaurs that move, but I'd have to get them imported in. It's quite an expensive hobby. As that one person, I just work a lot of men wouldn't be allowed to do this. Mate, I guarantee it, in about 5 years' time, there's going to be a horror story of a kid in a garden in Preston whose head has been crushed by an animatronic dinosaur.
It's at the point of 87!
Yeah, it will be. It will be, 100%. Do you know what? As much as we clown on it, it's actually fucking cool. Like, do you reckon... He definitely doesn't have kids.
Hey everybody, it's Markiplier. We're back again in the Preston Jurassic Park garden. Oh my god, it's called Mark!
It's Jurassic Mark. It's the alternate timeline where Markiplier got obsessed with Jurassic Park instead.
And lost all his hair.
Yeah. It's cool. I can't lie. It's very cool.
Look, I like it. I think the animatronics are a bit too far, bro.
100%. 100%. It's cool. I like it. I like it. Picasso, like it's... Yeah.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Five Nights at Jurassic Marks. The spin-off nobody asked for.
Oh, we're doing what poster we're
Chris-
using for the advert for the episode, aren't we? Fuck me. That's brilliant.
great.
Five Nights at Jurassic
Five
Park.
Nights at Jurassic Park. I'm laughing at my own joke. Yeah. I'd visit Jurassic Park, to be 100% honest. That'd be cool.
I wonder when is going to be the point where he sort of allows tickets. Like, when does he actually let people buy tickets to go
Do you reckon they're all in his back garden? Or do you reckon he's got?
Because there's a
some
guy
in
on
front as well?
Instagram who I follow who has like a Doctor Who museum, and I think it's like in America.
Yeah.
And this guy has bought so much stuff, like he's massive, and I'm like, now it's become like an actual museum and not a hobby anymore.
Yeah.
I wonder when it's going to happen with this guy.
Soon.
Jesus
hopefully.
Christ. Anyway, of course.
Anyway, that is bonkers. Anyway, thank you so much for watching or listening to this episode of Nostalgia Bit. If you enjoyed
very
and you're on
much.
Spotify, please leave us a hearty 5-star review. It
Yeah,
really
do
means
it.
a lot.
Do
if
it.
you're on YouTube,
it means you
please-
like us if you
Yeah,
do that.
that is true. It does, and I hope you like us. I really do. We like us. so-
I promise I will not complain about any more popcorn buckets if you give us a 5-star review on Spotify.
and I won't mention Baldur's Gate for a fourth time.
Yes! Do it! Please, God, do it! Please, God, do it! Please.
If you're on YouTube, please leave us a like. I really appreciate it. Subscribe as well. And check out TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, all of the above. We appreciate you. And we will see you next week for... I've forgotten and we're recording it straight after this.
You forgot what we're doing.
Top 5 albums. That's what's
Idiot.
next week.
Yeah.
I'm an
We're
idiot.
talking about our top 5
Top 5
albums of all
albums.
time.
Yes. And
That'll be interesting.
We will see you then. Thank you very much. And
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.